Okay guys, we are printing today. I'm so excited because it's super fun. So what we're gonna need is we're gonna need our block that we've pressed into. We're gonna have a magazine that our ink is gonna be on. We're gonna have brown paper where we print. We're gonna have, yours is all colorful because you colored it. Mine is white because I have not had time to color it. And we're gonna be using ink. So I'm gonna get this all set up and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. The first thing I'm gonna show you is how to get ink on your brayer. This is a brayer. This is how we are going to apply the ink to our block. So you're all gonna have a couple magazines at your table and there will be a blob of ink at the top. To get the ink on the brayer, you take a little dip. You don't need to smash it in there, and you start to roll it back and forth below. So a little dip. So what I'm gonna do, slowly but surely, there we go. You hear that nice little sticky sound? That's the sound you're going for. So I'm gonna roll back and forth here. I'm not covering my entire magazine. My goal is not to cover the magazine. My goal is to get it all over my brayer. So once I have it all over my brayer, so you can see my brayer's nice and evenly coated, I'm ready to apply the ink. I'm gonna move my magazine out of the way. I'm gonna put my block print down on the brown paper. And what I'm gonna do is, very carefully, I'm gonna start to put the ink on. So I'm just gonna roll back and forth. I'm gonna make sure that I get an even coat. Okay, so right there and right there, I don't have enough ink. So I'm gonna come back through here. It should be all the way black. All right. Once it's all the way black, we are ready to print. To print, we are going to have our brown paper and our ink all the way out of the way. We want a clean area to print on. So this, for you, this will be your colored paper. For me, it's just white. So I'm gonna reach in here, I'm gonna grab my block, and I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna line it up with the corner of my paper. Very carefully. Once I touch it to the paper, it's over. I can't pick it up and remove it. It's done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my hands and I'm gonna rub the back of this really well. I'm gonna press it down, and what I'm trying to do is get the ink to transfer from my block to my paper. Okay. Then when I'm ready, I will pull it up, and I have a print. I have one of my prints. I'm gonna need to re-ink this and keep going. As I go, I'm gonna make sure that I'm making it so that it completes the shape. So whenever you flip it over, you need to remember to turn it. So you can see your picture on the back. Once it's inked, you can kind of see through your plate. So make sure that it's pointed the right direction, because it would be very sad if you did it backwards or something and then you didn't have your circle. So I'm going to go ahead and print them all, and you can see the finished product. Okay, so my print is done. My block, I can rinse this off in the sink and I can keep it. This is mine to keep. Your print is going to go on the drying rack. The top page of the magazine is going to get torn off and thrown away. I'm going to leave it there so y'all can use it when you get here. The brown paper gets thrown away, and our brayer is going to go in the sink. A couple of tips for you. Be careful when you get ink on here. When you're putting it on your brayer, if you see any globs of ink on your brayer, globs are going to fill in your creases. So if it looks filled in on here, it's going to be filled in on your print. So make sure that you have a thin layer of ink. Less is more. Okay? Second thing, you're never going to get a 100% perfect print. You can see I got a little bit of ghosting right there. That's okay. That's what makes a print a print. It's going to be okay. So whatever you pull is what you pull. They're not supposed to look perfect. They're supposed to have some mistakes in there, and that's what makes a print a print.